Welcome to Nets Republic. The video was like supposed to go out like directly after the game, but I was just so tired after the game because it's just like watching your favorite team get obliterated by your rivals is just like, Brody, like it takes a lot out of you, and then you gotta like get ready for all the phone calls of like, hey, we put the whooping on you, you know what I mean? And it's like it's totally fair because we've been destroying them for 4 years straight. So it's like obviously they want to get their get back. And it's like you really gotta, and like this is not like on some petty stuff. Like I'm here to own it. We got annihilated on our home floor by the Knicks. I am owning it. Like trust me. But just to put into context of like where it is that Knicks fans are coming from, we have been annihilating them for 4 years straight. And honestly, before that too, because I remember when I was covering them, we never beat y'all. So it's like years and years and years of specifically Brooklyn just kicking the teeth in on the Knicks, right? So when you get your get back, when it's your turn, you want to give that same energy back, So like I totally understand it. Christmas is going to be trash yet again because it's just going to be an onslaught of Knicks fans just looking at me around the table saying, "So how's that Brooklyn Bridges thing working out?" And I'm just like, "Listen, I know, but that's neither here nor there." You see the title of the video. I'm even wearing the Devil shirt. Like, let's just go back to Jersey. You know what I mean? Let's just pack it up. Let's just go back to Jersey. This New York thing is not working out. Let's just go home. This is not working out. I mean, the way we got annihilated. Thank God it was not on ESPN because that was really embarrassing. And maybe it hits me more than it hits y'all because I used to cover them, and a lot of those same players are still there from when I covered them. So like when I'm watching Julius Randle of all people hit like 80 pump fakes and get a like little like a floater hook shot up and then just like flex on Dorian Finney-Smith, it's just like I know like where he came from. So it's like seeing him now, it's just like, good job, I guess. You know what I mean? Like Jalen Brunson, he's obviously really good and under control at all times. Shout out to him. RJ Barrett, it is incredible to me that he's on year 5 at this point. Like I covered him when we drafted him, and it's just crazy that he has not grown at all. Like, all he's got is that little, like, weak hook shot. But outside of that, wow, I thought he was going to be so much better than that at this point. That's a shame. And I think it's crazy that he gets to hide amongst the traveling circus that is the Knicks, because there's so many other things to focus on that RJ just gets away with being mid. I don't know how he's doing it, but shout out to RJ, I guess. That's enough about them. The Nets, man. The Nets. Oh, God, the Nets. It's not even worth making fun of Mikal Bridges because it's just like, what would be the point right now, He is just awful, and maybe that doesn't speak to him as a player overall, but right now, over the last 5 or so games, he has been just dreadful. I'm not even going to read the box score because, again, what would be the point in that? God, he was terrible. I think he was like 1 for 9 from 3 or something like that, and like 4 for 25. Like, horrible game. And he just kept shooting. And again, just like with Kyrie, it's like, at least he's trying. I'll give him that. But Jesus, man, like, Buddy can't make a layup anymore. And it's like, what happened to him? And serious moment. If playing ever, like if you're hurt or you're tired, dude, the like Iron Man thing you're going for, nobody can. I don't know who needs to tell you this, but nobody cares. You have played every game since college. How's that working out for you? And how is that working out for your Villanova teammates? Like, nobody cares. We don't go into games and treat it like it's the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, right? Like, we don't treat it like how Asuka was like undefeated until they fed her to Charlotte Flair, right? Like, we don't look at it like that. We don't look at it like, oh my God, Roman Reigns hasn't been pinned for 4 years. We don't look at it like that. We don't look at it like, oh, no one has kicked out of the one-wing angel. We don't think you're Kenny Omega. Like, we're not counting a consecutive amount of days. There's not a counter on the top of the... Nobody cares, bro. If you need to take a week off or something, or even a game off, nobody cares, dude. Get some rest. Because if you're tired, if you're hurt, if something is broken, you're hurting the team. Take a seat. Nobody cares. I was going to call this video, let's just move back to Jersey. But, I think I'm going to call this video, maybe Mikal should sit out a game. Because, I think that's what I just unearthed here, just speaking with y'all, quite frankly. If Mikal needs a game or two off, that's okay. You have proven that you were that dude and can't nobody injure you. That's great. But that machismo, whatever you got going on, that toxic masculinity, whatever that is, bro, let it go and take a day off. Take a game off. Please. Because you're hurting the team. Ben Simmons lasted 5 games and he's been out since. Trust me, by comparison, we will not be mad at you if you got to take a couple games off, bro. Cam Johnson started hitting shots towards the middle of the game. I appreciate you doing your job. I knew from the word go that putting him on Julius Randle was a terrible idea. And Jacques, I don't know what you expected to happen having Royce O'Neal and Finney Smith coming off the bench against all that size in the starting lineup. I don't know what you thought was going to happen. Claxton can obviously handle himself against anyone. I'm not concerned about him. But, that was never going to work. The reason why we were able to make the game close when the bench came in is because that's where the defense is. Again, I appreciate that Cam Johnson was able to hit a shot last night, but in terms of a matchup against Julius Randle, I don't know how you thought that was going to go. Because when he switches on Mikal or when he switches on Cam Thomas, this isn't going to go how you think it's going to go. It was such a terrible idea, and I don't understand why we went with it. It's okay to switch up the game plan every now and again, Jacques. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. There was a troubling moment where more narratives were being painted where I don't think it's safe to assume these things. Claxton has gone on record as to saying he's been upset at the defensive intensity of his teammates and saying that you got to have heart, you got to have energy, you got to have pride. We'll get to the pride part in a second. But Ian Eagle and them were trying to make it seem like that Claxton was yelling at Cam Thomas to pass the blank ball. And I don't think that's who he was yelling at. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't think that's who he was yelling at. Now, obviously, Claxton had a clear advantage because when Hartenstein literally ate his tooth, it was just Taj Gibson out there. And I don't know why we wouldn't just feed Claxton and just let Taj foul out and then have them have Julius at center and have him I don't know why that wasn't the adjustment. But again, Jacques Vaughn is our coach, so it doesn't surprise me. But I was under the impression that's what Claxton was upset about. And especially when he got block number 75 and then he got subbed out after having another successful defensive effort. and he like jumped up and down and yelled, how could Ian Eagle say that he's mad at Cam Thomas? Again, I don't like the way that agendas and narratives just get pulled out of the air just for the sake of conflict. Because again, why are we mad at the only person, there's only two people doing their job, and that's Cam Thomas and Claxton. Why would we try to pit them against each? That's so weird, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. Be mad at the twins. Don't be mad at the two people that are doing their job. That's so weird, and I'm not here for. Again, y'all like Ian Eagle. He does shady stuff like that all the time, and I don't like that. Because why pit the two best players against each other? It doesn't math, like that math is not mathing to me, and I don't appreciate that. Now, in terms of pride and in terms of, having some form of confidence in the fact that you have Brooklyn across your chest, I need us to really take a moment before we really get mad at the team. Let's really take a moment for a second. With the exception of Claxton, and I guess Spencer Dinwiddie, technically, who on this team has been there and played meaningful minutes for longer than a full season? Like, is Royce O'Neal supposed to feel the pressure of the rivalry? Like, this rivalry thing is between Nets fans, Knicks fans, and the Knicks players. There is no one on the Nets that has been there long enough to understand what this game means. The Battle of the Boroughs means nothing to these players because they just got here. Kevin Durant and Kyrie didn't start getting into this until the end of their tenure. Because then they started to understand, oh, we hate each other. I get it. Oh, they talking trash. Oh, they wanted us on the Knicks. Oh, okay, I get it. These players just got here, right? Like Claxton might understand it. Spencer Dinwiddie might get it, but Mikal Bridges just got here. Cam Thomas just started playing, much less starting. So it's like, to get mad at them and say, where's your pride? Where Brooklyn stand up against the Knicks? They just got here. There's no cohesion. There's no what's that word? There's no not continuum. There's no continuity. There's no continuity. Like, they just got here. Whereas if you look at the Knicks, I covered these guys. I covered them. When Thibodeau got hired is when I switched to the Knicks. So those 4 years that they've been doing whatever they've been doing over there, most of those players are still there from when I was covering them. So they understand, oh, we play Brooklyn, you got to put your foot in it, you know what I mean? Because those are the same players. Like, obviously, like a Brunson and them are new additions. But, like, for the most part, that general core of guys, I covered them. So it's like, we got to take the like that specific aspect of pride of you have Brooklyn across your chest. We got to cut them some slack. This is basically a new team. Like, that's not fair to them. And I don't think we can put that on this iteration of Nets players. I think once this team has been together for a long period of time, longer than 2 seasons, then I think then when we have these matchups, we can quote unquote take it personally. But right now, I don't think we can put that on the players. That's not fair to them. The main takeaway I took from this game is Mikal really needs to take a break. Maybe a week. where he just sits on the bench and just recovers. Because that was pathetic. Again, Battle of the Boroughs aside, that was pathetic from that man. You're the star of the team, dude. If you need to take a break, just take a break. Nobody cares that your streak of games will end. I promise you, nobody cares. Only the Nets truck is feeding that information to the play-by-play commentators. We don't care. Take a rest. You're hurting the team. But that's my thoughts on the game. Let me know yours down below. Hopefully today at work is not as bad for y'all as it's going to be for me. Because even in Atlanta, I am going to be destroyed at work today because we got embarrassed like that. Anyway, I'll see y'all whenever it is we play again. I think it's against the Nuggets on Friday. I'm expecting another loss, but that's okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm watching the Cam Thomas show. I don't know about y'all, but even when he has a bad game, he has a good game. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that.